Kingsholm envision this week? Bryan Redpath on a great start against Bath and facing Ryan Lamb this weekend. Dave Attwood on achieving his season's goal in the very first game, and the best and worst of Eliota Fuimaono-Sapolu. First up, I asked Bryan Redpath whether he was surprised by the style of the victory over Bath.
No, nothing at all. As I said, I think the three pre-season matches has put us in good stead. I think they've been tough. Two Magnus League sides are very tough in the breakdown, and I think that's been a good learning curve for us. And we've not hid from it. We haven't tried to over-analyse it sometimes, and I think there's a special method or theory to it. Sometimes it's just the willingness to put your body in the line or over ball, 1 to 15. And I think that was the pleasing thing. It was 1 to 15. There was people in there, from front rowers to full-backs, that were trying to turn ball over, trying to get their hands on, to make it a contest, to make it hard for the opposition. And you can't ask for any more if that is the case.
Obviously there's the potential to come up against Ryan Lamb. In a way, would it be an advantage for Gloucester, for him to be playing for Irish, just simply because you know his style of game?
Not really. I think the thing that I've realised over the last 4 years is that you sometimes get bogged down in what the opposition are, and you actually forget about playing and winning the game yourselves. We have to go out and do what we are good at, and in that, there is sometimes you target areas of the pitch or individuals in the pitch to make that right, but you can't change away from your game. You can't run away from things you've practiced for 10 weeks for. So some of these core values that we've got in there, we need in there, irrespective of who's on the opposition side. We're not going out there to get at Lammy. We're not doing anything like that. We're out there to do what's right for Gloucester. For me, what the boys want to do at the right times, we'll go out and do that, not dwell on or think on what other opposition's going to do and stop us doing this. We're exactly like that. They'll be saying sometimes the same. Sometimes we just got to get our end of the game right.
Talked about the result of the Majewski last season, or is that something you've in any way?
As I say, I've highlighted the fact we're not going to look back. We're not going to dwell. We're trying to change a few things. We're trying to be really positive on a lot of stuff, and we're going to be realistic. On the back of the mind, it's the coaches that understand what went wrong last year. The players need to go out and impose themselves in a game that's a physical team. London Irish are a very physical team with some very good players in there. Now, last year was last year. You know what I mean? It's just one of these things. You've got to get up. You can't ever move on if you never close the lid on something. Now we're quite happy. Close the lid on it, get on with it, and accept it. And I think the quicker we do that, the quicker we'll be stronger as a group.
Next up, we have a guest linker in the shape of Lucy Holmes.
Here's Dave Attwood on keeping his feet on the ground after his excellent performance on Sunday.
Right, there's been quite the reaction from the Gloucester faithful to your debut performance. Did it come as a surprise to you? A, as the reaction comes as a surprise to you. B, as the way you played comes as a surprise to you.
The reaction, certainly, I wasn't really expecting. Obviously, I was delighted to get the nod from Brushy to be involved, and obviously you go out and you do as well as you can. I was relatively pleased with the performance. There were plenty of areas that we've looked at this week, things that I can work on for next week. Obviously, I'm still young. I'm going to make plenty of mistakes, but it was nice that didn't get noticed, and I kind of got a bit of a better response to my first appearance in a Gloucester shirt.
When you first arrived, were you aware of the sort of stigma amongst the supporters that perhaps the pack hadn't been as strong the last couple of seasons and that sort of thing? Was it something that you were aware of when you first arrived?
I'm a local boy, obviously down from Bristol. Yeah. I've long been well aware of the pride of Gloucestershire that they hold, that their supporters hold with their forwards, and it was a fantastic challenge for me, obviously, to come here and hopefully kind of live up to their expectations and kind of be a part of that.
You reset your targets though after getting the start so early? What are your sort of thoughts on the season now that you've got that start out of the way? And
I think being as it came so early in the season for me, I will have to reassess now, but particularly at the minute, it's very much on a game by game basis. It's nice really not to have to think too long term. I can focus on the week in hand. The umpteen things that I did wrong this weekend against Bath, I can try and put those right against London Irish, and every week just try and raise the bar a bit personally.
Up against you in the London Irish game, Nick Kennedy, the England second row? I mean, what's your... Obviously, you've got aspirations. I mean, Nick Kennedy, you say he's the man in possession. He's one of the contenders at the moment. I mean, testing yourself against the best, what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think really in this league, every second row you play against is not far off. There are really some tremendous players. So it's really good every week to be able to kind of pit yourself against them and see how you fare up, because they are only human. But at the same time, they've got that reverence for some reason. So it's nice to kind of find out what they do differently, and the same as here, being able to train with the players we've got here, getting to play against them, is a different facet of things that I can take on.
Just in general, you're happy at Gloucester so far? I mean, it's been a pretty whirlwind few months since you first arrived.
Yeah, I think the whole world of rugby has been a bit of a whirlpool over the summer, but I'm really enjoying my time here at Gloucester. It's really going well for me at the minute, and I just hope that kind of carries on throughout the season.
And finally, here's the best, worst, and a little bit more from Eliota Fuimaono-Sapolu.
The game against Bath, I think that would be the best moment, because obviously it wasn't the best of endings, if you know what I mean. But plus, I love the boys, a lot of good friends there, and I'm really happy that we won that game. Yeah, really, really happy. Anytime we get an injury, that's the worst moment, especially long ones. I know a lot of the boys are like that as well. Like, you miss out on opportunities to play for your country. And
what's your most sort of serious injury so far?
Knee. I've had a serious knee injury. When I first came to Bath, I was out for about 14 weeks. So yeah, really frustrating. I think the most talented I've played with would be Johnny Fuimaono-Sapolu. I think the Bath, I played with him in Samoa, and I think he's absolutely gifted. But Semo Sititi, in terms of all-round principles and a lot of things after rugby and outside of rugby, you learn how to be humble and things like that from him. Quite a few. I think Sam Tuitupol. Yeah. Yep. Johnny Wilkinson, I think, is absolutely genius. He's just the man. So those two. I'd probably say maybe Sam Tuitupol or maybe Shantae Hape. I kind of rate, and I think he's a great player. Yeah. Bit embarrassed. Probably Oprah. Yeah. Oprah and probably my mum. Yeah.
Why Oprah?
It's amazing. Her story. Yeah. She's been through a lot of stuff. Been through really hard times, and it's come out all right. I was really surprised he got that award. It's joking. No, yeah, he's a great player. He's so talented. It's definitely motivation, because we both play for Samoa. In recent times, I've been 10, he's been 12, but I think we might actually be playing for our 12th position now. So definitely motivation. I love him to death. So that's enough to want to get him. I think I'm actually learning more from the team than they are from me, mate. For me, I'm still buzzing that I'm with Tyndall. I train with Tyndall, who's a World Cup winner, mate. So I'm learning from everyone here. So it's not the other way around. So I'm taking tips in, actually. Well, there was last week. I'm not. It's been sort of like we're coming down off a big high, but when you see like Hazel in the changing rooms before a game, and he is psyching the boys up emotionally. He's ready to go, and that's what I love. I love that. I love that. We have to get emotionally up for it. Logically, it just triggers your logic. So you're trying to break down, opposition, and it's really important. Mate, we're reaching for the stars, man. I hope we finish first, and but first we've got to get in the top 4, and anything can happen. So.
For all the latest on Gloucester Rugby, visit www.thisisgloucestershire.co.uk/Gloucester Rugby. My name's Gareth Butler, and that was Kingsholm in Vision.